today we're going to be talking about the transformation of Adobe and how you've been literally an instrumental part in this.
Well,
like
thank
you
you.
led it.
Well,
tell me a little bit about what went on.
Okay, so the first things first is I had a really big team.
Correct.
So I
Yeah.
can't take credit for doing it. I was a
Yes.
part of leading it. So how
Yeah.
about that? So
That's,
that's the first
that's
thing.
a good one. That's a good one.
And then I guess the other thing is just that we had great executive support. Our CEO said, we're going to do this. We're going to find a way for Adobe.com to be the hub of our transformation story, and we're going to do a better job of helping our customers direct.
Yeah.
So that was the starting point.
Yep.
And as soon as that happened, we immediately said, well, if Adobe.com is going to be the hub, we sure better have a better web experience.
Correct.
We better be able to manage it more effectively, and it better be super scalable. So those were the first, I guess, challenges that we faced.
Yeah. So how do you, from the top level, how do you get that buy-in? Because like at a lot of organizations, that seems to be very, very hard. Maybe some of you guys are experiencing this where you're at a large organization and getting top-down approval is near impossible. How
Yeah.
did you make that happen?
Well, I'd like to say that we made it happen, but I
Yeah.
think some of it just came because our CEO got it, if you will.
Yeah.
So that was part one. Part two is we had just acquired Omniture. So those of you in the e-commerce space remember that happened around 2010, 2011.
Yep.
And I think in that process of acquiring Omniture, and then the next one right after that was Day Software,
Yeah.
I think culturally you started to understand the importance of a .com relationship, a digital direct relationship with our customers.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, the lights went on for us. We started to see the potential of having a better direct relationship with customers.
Yeah.
And then it was bottoms up, top down, go. And so that then began a replatforming of the website.
Yeah.
We moved on to the Day, which is now Adobe Experience Manager.
Yep.
We implemented Test and Target, which is now Adobe Target.
Yep.
And we started getting tons of analytics, so we got a lot of data.
Yeah.
And the rest was really, what could we do to have a better direct relationship with our customers?
Yeah, and how did you manage the different experiences? Because every single product up to that point was a completely different experience.
Right.
How did you merge that into one? How did you, because that's a lot of brain power going into how to make this seamlessly integrate into one solution.
Well, I think we started thinking, even if it wasn't technically a platform,
Correct.
we started thinking these as platforms or systems. So when you think about the creative suite of Photoshop and Illustrator, those had become a suite, and they then moved to what we call the Creative Cloud. Acrobat became Document Cloud,
Yep.
and then all the underlying technology is basically what we think of as the Adobe Digital Experience business.
Yeah.
And so you think of all the suite of tools, in particular, since we're at Imagine, Magento,
Yep.
Marketo, which was a recent acquisition, and then all the other host of products like Adobe Campaign.
Yeah. So if I'm in this process with my company, what would be some of your common pitfalls that you started to see that I can avoid at my own company, or people watching this that they can avoid as they're transforming this digital presence
Yeah.
online?
Yeah, well, I think probably the best one is don't think of it as do a bunch of stuff and then stop. I think there's a common belief, especially if you come out of retail into e-commerce.
Yeah.
Any business that starts in retail and moves to e-commerce has a tendency to think of their business as prepare and launch,
Yeah.
and then watch the results. And I think what we've learned from this experience is that you're basically always on. It's a
Yeah.
24/7, always on experience with new customers,
Yeah.
and always on experience with the old customers. Just because you've sold something to an old customer doesn't mean that you're done in an engagement model with them, with your product,
Yeah.
from literally every single day. And even products that are non-digital, the customer is engaging with that product every day.
Yeah.
You as a brand should have a direct relationship with them. How's it going? You ready for another one? If you're talking about shirts,
Yeah.
you ready for a new shirt? You want a long sleeve shirt? You want another short sleeve shirt? So again, it sort of seems silly to think that you need to be that conscious about it, but you do.
Yeah.
It's an always on 24/7
Well, you really
business.
got to think about your customer too, like a shirt, how often are they repurchasing a shirt? Why would they need this? I mean, you're obviously dealing with lots of different things, but that requires a lot of testing.
Yes.
How often should I be testing these different things?
Yeah, so we used to have a mindset where we would run maybe 2 tests every 2 weeks or every
Yeah.
week. And today we're at about 200 tests every week all around the world.
Oh, wow.
And I think we aspire to be in an always-on testing and learning situation. So we do this thing called the data-driven operating model.
Yeah.
And the premise of that is that we're using data to manage our business real time. And so if you think about it, you almost get past the idea that you're running tests and more that you're constantly optimizing your business. You're constantly tuning it for performance.